We are live on Facebook. What's going on, guys? It is Throw It Out There Tuesday. Throw us all your questions, and we're going to throw them right at Justin, okay? But we're going to be talking about some kind of random subjects. But in order to do that, we got to go over to Justin Smith.
I like the sign there, Dom. That's pretty good. Steve, I'm not going to lie, man. I'm glad to have you back. But something that's really flipping me out is I can see way more calf right now. What's going on with your legs?
Oh, you're talking about these bad boys
Those,
right here, Justin?
yeah, guns, leg guns.
Well, everybody wanted a shorter sock, so hopefully dropping on the website soon is going to be our new crew sock.
For those who are scared of a full-length sock.
Yeah, for those who are scared to be knee-high till they die, we got you a little calf sock, okay?
One of the reasons why we're doing a Throw It Out There Tuesday is because we've been kind of off on our schedule for a little while. We haven't done 2 in a week for a little while, and we've had a lot of questions getting thrown our way. So, you guys, this is your chance. Throw out some questions. Doesn't matter if it's for me. Doesn't matter if it's for Mitch, Dom, or Steve. Ask Steve whatever you want. Yeah, ask him what his shoe size is, or how much problem he had with circumcision as a kid. I don't care. I don't think Steve cares either, but feel free to ask away. We'll answer it. As long as we know the answer to the question, right? But we're just going to kind of walk around the shop today, kind of bring up a couple of things that we're in the process of working on, some of the things that we want to make sure that you guys are aware of that are coming up when it comes to events, some of the products that we're working on, that kind of stuff. We'll kind of use that as a filler in between all of your questions. So, Steve, Mitch, and Dom, if you guys got good questions, then go ahead and send it. Just raise your hand, and we'll jump on it. But prior to that, some of the things that we have going on, you guys should be aware of. If you've been hiding under a rock, then you probably haven't heard that we've got our new North Carolina Huntersville location, kind of a soft opening going on out there. They had completed their first vehicle on the very first day that was booked, and they've got a lot coming up the rest of this week. So they're in the middle of growing through the invoicing process out there, making sure that we have everything in place. We've got a team of people up front that can handle any of the retail sales. You guys want to walk in over there and buy some stuff, you can. And we had a few retail sales the other day too. Steve, did they talk to you about that? I think somebody came and bought tie rods and a whole bunch of other stuff. A couple different items, right? You need a mic.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me mic it up. A couple people bought some TLS kits, a spring kit, and just a couple other random things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And the showroom's big, man, and we haven't filled it with vehicles yet, but that's another thing that we are doing. I mean, this is pretty much like what we're up to, right, today?
Yep.
So we've got a couple of portal vehicles going out there, full mud, as Justin Jones would say, a full mud bike going to be out there. We've got some trail vehicles, Can-Am Commander and a Polaris 900S or 1000S we're going to have out there too. We're going to have our Pro XP or XP Pro or whatever the hell it is. I keep forgetting which way. It's Pro
XP.
Thank you very much for clarification. Pro XP out there with a whole bunch of stuff on it. So stop by in the showroom and check out all those vehicles once we've got them all done. They'd love to talk to you. Our crew out there is looking for people to hang out with. They're a little bit lonely. Yes. They've been working by themselves for a couple of months and haven't had anybody to talk to. Steve.
Yes.
What other things do we have coming up that I need to point out?
Oh,
We have a couple of events.
Couple of events coming up. We could talk about those, but the one coming up soon is going to be UTV Takeover in Coos Bay, Oregon, June 21st through the 25th.
And that is our crew's going to be out there talking to everybody, right?
Yep.
And in Coos Bay, that's going to be full semi. That's probably the
Full
display semi with all the parts.
Yep.
And if you guys want to get any kind of spring kits installed, as long as you bring us the shocks, then the spring installation is free, and we can do that for you. You shove them on there and check out ride height improvements and ride quality improvements at the same time. Yep. So those two events, you can have Jake and the rest of the crew out too.
Yep.
Mitch, this thing that I'm leaning up against, tell everybody a little bit about the rugged taco truck.
So apparently this thing goes around and makes a bunch of tacos for everybody wherever it goes, which is pretty cool.
Point out some of the cool stuff on there. We got a total shade awning that pops out on this thing.
Yep, shade awning. Looks like a cooler in the back. We got some other things in the bed that can kind of fold out and display for making food and making tacos. So if you read the back, it says "Follow me for tacos," which is pretty cool. I think he's got a roof rack on it that can hold some extra stuff. Basically, this was a Destination Polaris build that Rugged did, and we're getting it dialed in suspension-wise, shock-wise, so they can go rip it around and use it for what it's meant to be used for.
There's so
Besides
much
being
cool-
used for tacos. You know?
Well, tacos, that kind of trumps everything. But there's so much cool stuff on there on this thing. Tables fold out. It's like a transformer. The oven, the fridge, all the condiments, everything folds out flat and holds everything for you so you can make it. It's pretty bitchin'.
Pretty cool.
Somebody really likes tacos.
Definitely.
Maybe more than George Hamill. He likes tacos a lot.
That's a good one right there.
What else we got flying over here, Steve? You need a mic.
I'll just yell. What else we got going on? Well, we've
You
got,
this, Ranger.
Ranger. Oh, no, it's a Defend. This is a Ranger. That's
Ranger.
right. It's a Ranger. Getting some QS3s on it.
Which is Fox Aftermarket Shock
Fox
Package.
Aftermarket Shock.
Comes with our valving, comes with our spring kit. Really, really changes the ride quality on these things. Mitch was saying the other day how impressive they are when they go. I mean, how many guys are going to take a full cab vehicle and go through the whoops fast? Honestly, we do, and a lot of other people we know do, and it'll definitely do it.
Justin, we have a question real quick.
let's hear it.
Somebody wants to know, since we are out on the East Coast, are we going to be doing East Coast events?
Absolutely, yes. We've got big plans for a ton of stuff out there. Actually, Dom, you're going to be at the Windrock riding area, Tennessee, and 2 other places also filming for Destination America.
Correct. I can't pronounce them, but yes.
So you got 3 days, 3 rides.
3 days, 3 rides, 2 cars. If we can get a 3rd car down there, it'd be cool.
Yep.
But the Commander, and we're gonna have the Pro XP on the portals and
The whole deal.
Yeah.
And then those 2 end up going over to the North Carolina location. You know, just so you know, we're calling it like NC location or NC shop or whatever. We've come up with a good
NC low.
NC
low?
NC low.
So, yeah, to answer your question, man, we're going to be on a lot of rides, a lot of the events out there, a lot of the shows that are out there. We are going to be at the Dale Earnhardt charity auction car show. I'm not sure the date on that, but we will be there. And if you guys are going to be in town, go, because we're going to give away a ton of stuff, all free during the auction. So, actually, I think it's silent bidder for some of this stuff, but you've got shock work, you've got spring packages, sway bar packages, a ton of stuff we're giving away at that event. It's great. All proceeds go to charity. You should go out there and take part.
so we're donating it, and it's silent.
We're
auction.
donating it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't describe that right, but we're donating all of our stuff. That'll be part of the silent auction, so help some people out by going out there. We will be in a lot of places, on a lot of rides in that area here very, very soon, like in a couple weeks.
Awesome.
Max. Some of the things that we've got going on, maybe as Josh decides to walk around. Oh, well, you've got one of our favorites in here, Steve.
Oh, an XYZ. Or no,
hold on.
YXZ, sorry. YXZ coming in for a full suspension tune. We're doing a dual rate spring kit, valving, and rebuilds. Justin, how much are rebuilds?
Oh, that's a very, very good question. They vary according to shock diameter, but who cares what they normally cost, because we've got a new summer special where rebuilds, and correct me if I'm wrong, but rebuilds are free if you were doing the shock work on the inside. So a complete ride improvement system, if you're getting that done, then the rebuilds are free. Steve, tell them why we don't just normally do that anyway.
We don't normally do that because there are sometimes we'll get a car that's in the shop or a shock that has no miles on it, or it's a brand new build, and those typically don't need new seals, new oil. So we don't do it on every single car that comes in or every single shock that comes in. But that promo is only going on from June 1st to August 31st. So book your appointments today.
Our point and our goal with that sale/special is that we kind of want to make it kind of a summer thing, right? So there's a start and a finish to it. So make sure that you get in and part of it as soon as you can, because it will not last for the rest of the year. It's only going to be summer special, time sensitive, right? As we go walking around the shop, come back into the inventory room, or at least one of the inventory areas, our kitting room, you can see that we have probably the most stuff in stock of anybody when it comes to things like radius rods, tie rods, all these other components. We've got the guys hard at work doing some kitting stuff. Over on the far end, looks like we've got, what are you working on over there? We got sway bar links?
Yep, X3.
Let's see what he's working on. X3 links and turning them into kits. We've also got some X3 billet race rack stuff getting assembled over here. How's it going, man? And there's a lot of parts that go into these things. A lot of people are surprised when they realize that we actually make every single thing in-house. That means even the rack gears, pinion gears, all that stuff we make in-house. And if you take a second to look through some of the blue bins, you'll see that the inventory is pretty deep around here when it comes to components that these guys need. I mean, some of the stainless steel high misalignment spacers that we have are about 3,000 of them per bin. And that allows us to never be out of stock, or at least not be out of stock any more than we have to be, right, Mitch?
Yes, sir.
Do you have something in there, Peter?
Yeah, Big Hemp wants to know, can you repeat the revalving promotion just for people who are maybe tuning in right now and would like to know what
Mitch, you're
what
probably
we
all
have
up on that. Why don't you go
to
ahead?
offer for that, if you will.
Lay it out, man. Let
I forget
everybody
the
know.
dates. You might have to quote me on the dates here. June 1st through August 31st. Any set of shocks that comes in and gets a revalve is getting free rebuilds with that purchase. So basically new seals, new oil throughout the entire set of shocks. You guys are getting that for free if you purchase the RIS improvement system.
Let me point out some of the cost in that. So if you decided, hey, I just want my shocks rebuilt, you're going to spend about $500 to get that done on average, depending on some of the shock packages, right? Could be as much as $600 or $700 to rebuild them if the diameters start to get larger. If you are already getting shock internals done and you decide to get rebuilds done at that time, you're going to spend another $100 or $200 to get that done. Right this second, that is free. If we're inside the shock already doing the valving, we're going to do rebuilds for you for free. So somewhere between $200 and $600 worth of value on that. You guys should jump on it for sure. Dom needs a mic. No,
Steve.
Dom has a mic. What do you got there?
This is to you, Steve. Chris, Wachala. What up, boys? Steve, looking slim.
What?
I have been going to the gym. Thank you for noticing. Yep. I appreciate that. It's just the hair. Justin, I do have a question.
I think it is the hairdo that's really pointing it out.
Justin, but don't film my bald spot though. Justin, is it possible that we could talk about shock body wear and how to correct that, Justin? Because shock body wear doesn't happen all the time.
I've also
Yes,
have that question.
absolutely. So shock body wear is something that is going to happen no matter what shock, no matter what divider, no matter what spring. It has mostly to do with environment, but there are easily 20 or 30 different factors in that. I think maybe let's take one spot to sit in one area right this second while I kind of go through this. I'll tell you this, just so that you guys know, we're in the middle of putting together a live feed coming up in the next week and a half. It's strictly going to be on shock body wear so that we can kind of point out with visual aids, meaning samples of shock bodies from different shock manufacturers, samples of shock bodies on different vehicles. We'll point out all of the things that we've seen, all of the factors that come into play with that. But remember, we have a divider.
So this was stock.
That was stock. All right, let's just grab this. Woo! Right out of the parts washer. That's hot. She's hot. All right, you guys. Zero prep on this. You guys asked the question. Here's one. This is a Walker Evans rear shock on an XP1000. This body wear that you're looking at is only from the stock package driven off of the showroom floor. This divider right here, if you can look, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but it's not very round. This divider is kind of oval. And this ovalness on the stock divider, coupled with material, sand, dirt, and everything else, as this divider is sliding up and down on the shaft, as and which got Steve happy again, always does. All right, here you go, Steve. All right. As you're driving it over anything and the spring system compresses, then this divider is going to slide up and down on the shock. It's all it does is is center the spring package and slide on the shock body. You throw a little bit of sand in here and this is going to wear it out. No matter what, it's going to wear it out. It is just like having a file or sandpaper on your hand your whole life. It's going to wear out your fingernails, it's going to wear out the skin, eventually it's going to wear through. That is every single shock on every single UTV, no matter what. Some are better than others. Some shocks have steel bodies on them that don't wear out as much as an aluminum body. This is an aluminum body walker. Typically, aluminum bodies wear out more than anything else. A spring divider, like this factory one, has a lot of play. This play allows it to slide up and down on the shock in one spot. See how it's touching on this spot and not on the other? That's because of the room that's inside of this factory divider. That makes the friction from components and sand and other elements even worse. This is a divider that we supply with some of our spring kits. When I say some, we do not supply dividers on some of the newer Fox kits because the divider is really awesome and doesn't need to be replaced. But on the early walkers and typically even now on the newer walker stuff, the dividers are still super loose and not very thick and not very round and cause problems. So on those kits, on this kit particularly, we supply a divider. It's much more higher tolerance, it's thicker, and it doesn't move and doesn't wear out as much. But no matter what, you start throwing some sand in this area, and it's always going to wear out. If someone says that their spring kit doesn't wear out shock bodies, they're a liar. If someone says that their spring package wears less on a shock body, they're a liar. Because you cannot stop body wear as long as a divider is sliding up and down on the shock body with other things going in there. Maybe they wear less because they haven't been around long and that spring kit might only be on that vehicle for 500 miles. Well, duh, it's going to have a little less wear than one that's been around for 5 years or 5,000 miles. So don't believe the hype that might be out there. Everything wears, just to what degree and what area or zone within the United States. For instance, if you're in Florida and the elements are salty and muddy, it sticks to the shock, you're just going to wear that sucker out real quick. If you never clean the vehicle and don't clean the shocks, they're going to wear out quicker. Stock spring packages wear out shock bodies. End of story. It's just part of what happens. It's a wearing component. We consider this whole thing, and I'm going off on a tangent right now, which I will go into much more detail with visual aids on our live feed in the next couple of weeks. But the factory system, no matter what, will wear out bodies, and we've got instances with factory shocks that we pulled off, pull factory springs off, and where it's worn completely through the body all the way. There's nothing you can really do about it. But we compare and compare a divider and a body and the wear right there, the same thing as brake pads. There's nothing you can do about brake pads. They're going to wear out. Eventually, you're going to put new ones on there. It's just how you treat them, and the quality of the stuff you buy does determine how much you're going to wear and how many miles you can put in it, and how you drive the car too. That's the same thing as body wear. I'm done now.
A little help on that though would be clocking the springs, right?
There's a ton of stuff we're going to go over. A ton of stuff we're going to go over on our next feed. We're going to point out clocking the springs of 180 to try and keep the divider as straight as possible helps. Cleaning the shock helps.
Okay.
That could be an hour episode in itself.
It can.
Easily.
You know, and you get one guy who's like, mine wore a ton, and one guy is like, mine barely wore. Well, you might have a steel body versus aluminum. You might have a guy who is constantly in mud, and that's just grinding the shock body all the time, and our guy who's in a dry desert area doesn't see very much dirt in there. So there's a lot of factors.
So when you wash your car, wash your shocks.
Wash your shocks, man.
Wash your dividers.
Yep.
Or it'll fall off.
Or it'll fall off. We already know this.
Justin, somebody in here asked a question. I can't find it, but it had something to do with Turbo S velocity shocks. Now, I know there's not a lot to do with that, but like, what kind of options would somebody have if they had a Turbo S velocity?
So let's just say you own a Turbo S, and it's a Velocity Edition with walkers on it. Well, we can do the internals on a walker. We can do the spring kit. We can make them work better, all that. But if you want more performance and more ride quality than that walker package is going to give you, we have an option for you now. It is a Fox, not RC2. Technically, it's a C2, or dual compression shock, which is basically an RC2 without the rebound adjuster option for you. So if you want to get rid of the walkers maybe with shock body wear because they're aluminum bodies and go with something that's stronger and performs better, then we have an option. We've got complete shocks ready for you to swap out on that with our spring kits and internals. It's actually something that a lot of people have been asking for, and we've gone through quite a few sets. We've only had them for a little bit, but they've been burning through those. So, and it's a bitchin' package. Mitch will tell you how awesome that rides, or Dom will raise his hand and tell me what he had for a question.
Let's go Mitch first.
All right, Mitch first.
No, it's pretty cool. I mean, being able to have an option to swap out for an aftermarket shock on those cars is huge alone, and putting some time and effort into actually testing that vehicle was very, very impressive with what it could do. Just having high speed, low speed compression adjustments alone. Low speed more than anything is huge for really fine tuning the vehicle into what you guys are riding in or what you guys are doing. So. And the special that we have going on right now for them is something to definitely jump on. So keep a lookout for that.
Keep on keeping on. As we go into Doug's area, into the laser room, we do all of our own laser engraving on all our components. As you can see, we've got robots all over the place. But Dom, you had a question. You raised your hand. Do you remember what that was?
Well, Andy Bolsma said, number one, it's been a while since you went live. He missed you.
Oh, Andy, thank you very much.
And he recently got his Walker Evans shocks tuned and sprung, and night and day difference over stock.
Awesome. Andy, thanks for reaching out. Really appreciate that. It's badass. We do a lot of vehicles, 20 a day, and I would say probably 25% of those customers actually reach out and tell us how much they love it. And we really love hearing from all of them because we put a lot of time and effort into this stuff. While we're sitting here chatting, maybe we can take a look at some of the laser work on all of our rod ends, which are made for us to our specs in the United States. Those are laser engraved here in the house, and we're knocking in Shock Therapy logos on this stuff. This is pretty much non-stop. Doug, we probably go through 1,500 to 2,000 rod ends a day around here. It's constant, right?
Yeah, that robot's running day and it's also running lights out during the night. So I can run anywhere from 600 to 1,200 during the night shift.
Very, very cool, man. So nobody's here and we're still knocking out logos. That's pretty badass. What do you got there, Steve? You got a good question for us?
It's a great question, Justin. Somebody wants to know, for those of us that have your spring kit but did not get the upgraded divider, do you guys sell just the divider?
Actually, really, really good question. Yes, we have dividers on the website. You can grab those for what you need. But I would suggest that you give us a call first before you just go on the site and buy dividers. The reason is that our sales team can let you know, hey, that's a kit that we actually do dividers on now. Or they can let you know, hey, we don't normally even do dividers on that. It's not a problem. So we don't want you to waste any money. But if you feel like you're seeing some extra wear on the body or you feel like there's some play in there, then a new set of dividers are definitely going to take care of a ton of that. And you want to keep up on it as well as cleaning that shock body. For sure. Steve, what you got there?
Somebody wants to know, Mitch, where did you get that hat?
It is a hat that we are making. Sorry, let me pull it up.
There you go. Fashionable.
Stunners off.
It is made.
It is made, yes. It is just not on the website yet. Correct, Josh? Correct. Taking photos of it and all that. It will be on the site very, very soon for you guys to purchase. So this one actually, I don't know if it came from me, but very picky about my hats, and I like the classic hat with the nice leather patch on it. So it'll be on the site soon. You guys can pick it up there.
Steve, I know that you've got some things to say when it comes to other items that we wanted to point out for other people.
Definitely, but first, Premature John's on the live feed. Hey, John, great to hear from you. He wants to know, tell us the cost on the Fox shocks for the Turbo S.
Damn, Mitch.
They are, as of right now, going for $3,995.95.
$4,000 for a set of shocks. That's unheard of right now because everything's price raised, man. We're looking at $5 or $6 grand for sets of shocks on that stuff now.
Correct, and that's also valve sprung, ready to go, shipped to you, put on your car, pick them up, whatever you guys decide. That is set up to what you guys are doing, 2-seat, 4-seat, doesn't matter. Valve sprung, tuned, set up, ready to go for you. So
I will put something on that. That may not last very long. I'm just saying, $4,000 with all that stuff, that might be
Limited
changing.
time?
It is honestly, it's a limited time. We just didn't want to tell anybody it was limited time, but we were going to go through probably the first 20 sets, which is almost done.
Almost.
And then that's going to change. So you guys might want to jump on that quick.
yeah, it's not going to stick around for a long time. So definitely hop on it.
Get her done.
If you're looking for it.
Where would they get those at?
Steve, they would get on that shocktherapyusa.com.
Hey, Mitch,
Shameless
Yes,
plug.
sir.
how would one go about getting one of these nice stickers?
Getting a sticker?
Getting that sticker.
There's only one way to get that
That
sticker.
specific sticker?
that specific one.
That's a very specific sticker, sir. That has to be basically brought into the shop to get our ride improvement system done on the shock. That validates us doing the work. That gives us your warranty per se, and that also is just part of the deal.
Yeah, the only way you're going to get that sticker is if you've already gotten the work done, and if you need a replacement, like maybe you scratched it up or got torn off or whatever it is, we'll replace it for you. You just got to send us pictures of your ripped off piece of sticker on a reservoir, and we'll replace it. But unless you have not had the shock work done, you're not going to get one.
Yep, correct.
Steve, what else is on our list of things?
Hey, Justin, what are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, thank you very much for asking, Steve. I didn't think you would ever get around to that. What are we doing tomorrow? We are flying out to the secret test location to do test drives and evaluations on new Fox technology. Fox Tech, usually 2 or 3 times a year. All the new ideas and all the new products and maybe even programming for different things. It could be really anything. We get to test that stuff and give input and changes if it's possible. It could be anything from a new Ford Bronco, Raptor, Jeeps, UTVs of all shapes and sizes, usually a 6-pack of those with all kinds of stuff on it. So some of this stuff we can talk about, some of the stuff we cannot talk about, but after we do some testing, we'll let you know. What are we doing after that? I'm going to North Carolina after that, right? Day after.
That's right. Hey, but Justin, do you know what we're doing July 21st to 22nd? No? Well, I'll tell you.
Please, Steve.
We're going to West Texas Sandsport Expo in El Paso, Texas. So mark your calendars and we'll see you there.
What else you got going on there? Well, Steve, look at this KRX. What's
Would
happening?
you look at that?
Would you please describe to people what's going on the front of this KRX since we're standing around
Well,
here?
let me describe it to you, Justin. So right now, if you get down here, right over here, come closer. All right, so what we're doing here is our tie rod and pin kit on this KRX 4-seat. Going to get that bump steer nice and dialed and hopefully have a smoother ride.
You know, while we're standing next to these factory KRX Fox shocks from this vehicle, I want to point out something. You guys understand this right here is a shock body stainless steel liner? The reason that these are on the factory vehicle is to prevent body wear with factory spring packages. KRX was one of the first to have them on stock, and the rear shock on a Pro R has it as well. The reason I point that out is the factory and OEMs know that shock body wear is standard issue. Because of that, they're looking to try and combat that and limit that in the future. It's not something that is strictly limited to anybody, it is everyone. So if somebody tells you their kit doesn't do or doesn't cause shock body wear, they're lying.
Bullshit!
Excuse me. Sorry, Steve, the allergies, really bad. Bad.
Justin, are you going to be doing the Baja 500?
Baja 500, yes we are.
You're gonna win it.
We're going down there with a mission, that's for sure. Yeah, next week. We leave Tuesday, pre-run Wednesday, Thursday, tech on Friday, race on Saturday, win Saturday night, stay Sunday, get our trophy, be back at the shop on Sunday night, working on Monday. That is our plan. We will be there. Also, sharing the drive with Sean Geiser is going to be there as well.
Shout out, Geyser.
Yep, and we're both going to be driving the race. So looking forward to it. Got high hopes, that's for sure.
Justin.
What else you got?
Our
Steve?
man Ramp Rat 943 talking about body wear said Robbie said it isn't a problem on the Speed UTV.
Well, nothing is a problem on the Speed UTV.
Why is that, Justin?
I don't know, man. They float on air or something, but you know.
Love you, Robbie.
Yeah, we do. Robbie, good job on getting some of that stuff in and delivered to your customers. It's a long road, a lot of work, and I don't think anybody gives you credit for the amount of time and effort that goes into that. So congratulations on that. Shock body wear, unless it's a steel body or a stainless steel liner, you're going to end up with it no matter what. Or unless you stare at your vehicle and never drive it, there's another option.
It's always that.
Yeah, yeah. Mitch, you got any products that you want to let anybody know of? Since we've really had almost no questions. Is it because we've answered everyone's questions?
No,
in the past,
there's a couple coming in.
Well,
like,
then why don't you
nothing crazy,
give me some
but
easy ones.
There's a product that I want to talk about real quick that we are actually in the middle of that a lot of people have been asking about for a very, very, very long time.
What you got?
High clearance radius rods for most models. I don't want to say all models, but most models. So in the works of that right now as we speak. So Turbo S, Can-Am, couple
You
other
were
ones.
talking specifically about billet
high clearance radius rods. Yes.
Because there are a set of high clearance chromoly radius rods on that Pro R right there.
We've just never had them for like Pro XPs, Turbo S. So the models that everybody's always been asking about and bugging us about, we are in the works of making billet ones as we speak right now. So pretty excited for that. That's going to be pretty bitchin' when it comes out and actually being able to offer it to all you guys for all that stuff. So
Because we're finally working on it, it's worth talking about.
yeah, 100%.
For sure.
So excited for that. But
What other products you got?
man, Defender and Ranger tie rods. We do have those out on the website as we
Kind of like
speak
that one
right
on
now.
the KRX.
Yep. So the Defender one is kind of cool because it's very similar to our X3 style tie rod, if you will. So basically a BSD still, but you can move the 3 spacers around to raise or lower the rod end inside of the double shear spindle. And then for the Ranger, it's going to be like our standard pin kit style. So adjustable pin, you can raise it up or down, you can cycle it, you can get basically all the tow out of the car on that, all the bump steer out, and being able to offer it for all of the utility style UTVs, if you will. So that's on the site right now as well. We got some sway bar links for Defenders. There's a bunch of stuff going on, man. Honestly,
Actually,
there's
lot of new
quite a
stuff.
things that are moving right now that are pretty exciting, and we're excited about to actually be able to release them and get them on the site. So.
Yes, Steve.
Rich Fortin wants to know, what about the adjustable bar clamp for the Pro XPs?
You don't need a microphone there, sir.
Yeah, he's over here. Hi.
Hi.
All right.
Bar clamp. I don't know where we're at on that one. to be honest with you.
I'll tell you. We paused that. The reason we paused it is because it's a complicated part to make. By the time it ends up on the retail market, it's going to cost us just as much as a sway bar. So we've held on to that right now, and we're not pushing anything until we can come up with an easier or better way to make them. Mitch, you had a couple of questions. You said they were kind of easy, but it doesn't matter. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let me go back to it real quick here. Sorry.
Got some?
Mitch, do we have IQS in stock?
Yes.
We do.
Yes, we do. We have IQS.
All right.
Ride improvements for the new Polaris Expedition.
Ooh, good
We
question.
should actually
So
add on top of that too for all the other models that are coming out as well.
this is true. So Expedition and what's the name of the other one? It's
The XP1000.
no, it's like a Cornelius or something. What's the name of it?
Admiral.
Admiral, but I don't think
That's the Expedition.
Oh, it's the Expedition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, it's coming out. So those two models, we've got the new XP1000. We've got the new Can-Am that drops this year. Oh, did I say that? Oops. Sorry. But there's a lot of new models that we're working on components for, and we will have them as soon as possible, probably before anybody else, since we have most of the vehicles before anybody else. Sorry. I'm just dropping mics.
Drop 'em.
Yeah. What do you got there? More questions there, Mitch?
Is there a way to incorporate the KRX ES electronics into an X3 with
No IQS on
IQS?
So is he saying put electronic adjusters instead of IQS?
Is there a way to incorporate the KRX ES electronics into an X3 with IQS?
Well, the answer would be pretty much no. The reason is you would have to use the loom and all the sensors from the KRX system, which also requires an ECU. That's just cost prohibitive. You just, no. you're better off staying with IQS, honestly, or buying a vehicle with live valve to begin with. Otherwise, forget it. It just doesn't make any sense. You're going to spend 10 grand on electronics before you even change the shock around, and who knows if it's going to work right because you got to calibrate all the sensors that didn't normally come with the vehicle. So it's better off just buying one. Sell what you got, buy one that's got dynamics.
2 questions, Justin. First one being from Segway themselves. Do we have any products coming out for the new Segway?
You know what? So first question, yes, we do actually have a lot of products coming out, and I will point to Mitch because I can give you some overview on that between radius rods, tie rods, spring packages, shock internals. You were just inside of a new batch of shocks.
Correct.
Talk about those.
So yeah, tore them apart. Segway actually sent us their, I don't know if it's their newly updated or newly designed shock, but
Well, it's both, right? It's
I think
all
so,
new
yeah.
and updated everything.
Yeah, brand new shock basically, so it's going to be a bolt-on that you can put onto them. We're also still kind of working on coming up with something aftermarket Fox related to possibly put onto those cars as well. But just your normal stuff, sway bar links, tie rods, radius rods, anything that can beef up the normal wear and tear items that come on
Oh, look
these
behind
things.
you. Dom just happens to find
There it is right there.
there is the new shock package
So
for
pretty cool, high speed, low speed. It does have rebound adjustment as well, which is pretty sweet. So we're going to actually bolt these on hopefully today, tomorrow, and then we are going to be testing that end of this week, possibly next week.
slash Baja 500 pre-run. Who knows?
And definitely doing that. I mean, you guys already went down there and tested it a little bit.
We did for San Felipe, on the original
so-
shock package, and you know what we had for problems on that car? Zero. The only problem with that car is that everyone got to drive it, and some got a little bit jiggy with that thing. That was it. Just
Might have
saying.
lost a spare tire.
Jordan, just saying.
Yeah.
But new stuff for the Segway really elevates it, especially in the suspension packages. But we got a lot of stuff coming out for that to answer your first question. Second question.
Second question. What's the Bilstein Pro Turbo R availability timeline?
Turbo R, we can't tell you. We're waiting on them for that. But if you'd like to get some Bill Steins for your X3, then we do have those in stock. Give us a call and we'll tailor them for you. They actually work pretty good. And when I say pretty good, I mean really well.
Steven,
Yes.
do we do military discounts?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, we do. Yeah. Just call in and we do military discounts. Sure. Yeah.
All first responders.
First responders, military, everything. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Steve, you got any good questions in there? Hold on a second. Steve. Steve. Do you have good questions in there?
I really like it when you say my name that softly. J Hupp said stay safe in Baja. And then also Ramp Rat wants to know, will there be a Throw It Out There Thursday this week? I really like the Throw It Out There Thursday shows. You guys are so funny and entertaining.
There won't be one on Thursday, and the reason is that I'll be in North
I
Carolina.
won't be here.
Yeah, well.
Oh, I thought it was because I won't be here.
Yeah, no, I'll be in North Carolina, so we're going to hold off on that. That's why we're doing Throw It Out There Thursday on Tuesday. Oh. So since you like these shows, then come up with some good questions, man. I mean, ask Steve about his schmeckle. It doesn't matter.
I'm an open book. Is IQS available on Fox QS3s for the Defender/Ranger?
No.
No, they
Why?
are not.
Mitch, please tell everybody the reason why.
We have tried to install that on the Defender, and we got really excited because we got 3 of them to cycle, and then the last shock that we put on to cycle did not.
It's shock clearance, isn't it?
Shock
I'm
clearance,
sorry,
adjuster clearance.
It's adjuster to the exhaust.
Correct.
isn't it?
Yeah, it gets into the exhaust pretty bad on the passenger side of those cars. So might look
We're
back into
considering-
it a little bit and see what
Considering an exhaust tip.
we can come up with, because it would be pretty cool to have it on those cars. But as of right now, unfortunately, it's not going to work with the Defenders. So.
All right, Steve, what do you got?
But somebody, and I agree with this, Big Hemp 21 said Steve needs to go back to taller socks. I don't disagree with you, but I had to test these bad boys out to make sure they were sellable.
New boot goofing?
New boot goofing. 3 payments.
What's the name of the red car on cars with a
Lightning McQueen.
That's you, right there at them caps.
Yes.
Hey, Mitch, got a question for you. Mr.
Yes,
Tom
Tom.
Gret. Hey, guys, I'm new to your product. Are there any YouTube videos on your dual rate spring kit for the KRX 4-seater?
KRX 4-seater. I'd have to look at. It's been so long since I've looked at it. I have to look at it. You can go to our YouTube channel. Under install videos, you can select either Honda, Kawasaki, Polaris, Can-Am. It'll walk you through kind of like a playlist of what we have for install videos and stuff. But we do have a ton of live feeds that kind of go over all the products and stuff.
For
that we're
sure, we've
looking
got
for.
spring kits, shock packages, right? We've
Yeah,
got some of the
definitely.
other simple stuff too. I'm not sure that we've spent some time on brand new parts there.
Yeah,
other than the typical stuff.
The live valve stuff, and just instruction videos and stuff on it. I don't know if we do. So, but we have product for it for sure. So,
Any other questions, Mitchell?
let's see.
Dom, anything?
Not here.
Really? Nobody with a question at all, or they're just not worth you mentioning?
25 plus 25.
It's 50.
Cool.
Good
times
job.
2.
All right.
Justin, what's the
100.
relationship between Bill Stein and Fox?
None. They're competitors in the market. So if you're trying to dream up something for soap opera, there is nothing to dream up. No connection, man.
ETA on shock socks. I wonder if they're talking about the seal savers.
They probably are. So that's actually a really good question. We've got initial prototypes that we've tested and it went amazing. We've got first run production stuff that turned out really good. So we're just waiting for our production run right now. Should be a couple weeks and we'll have them on site. Not very long, man. They're on their way.
Yep.
And they work great, and we'll talk about them on a feed, let you know the goods and the bads. I've always been against that kind of stuff in the past because they hold in heat, but one of the things that is really cool about these is the material is a breathable material and it doesn't hold the heat in, and we'll show you.
Hellhound said, "Take a hammer to the exhaust and problem solved on the."
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. It's not that far off. You
I wish we
take
could
a
tell
ball-
everybody to do that. You know.
Yeah, but you can't really put in the directions, completely dent your exhaust with a ball peen hammer. It's not going to go well. But if you guys are good, you guys good? We're good? All right. That means that Steve gets his mic because we're going to sign off. As Steve comes over here with this awesome background of all the components that we make. Steve, why don't you sign us out, bud?
Hey guys, if you're looking to buy any of our products, you can either walk in and buy it off the wall or go to our website, www.shocktherapyusa.com. Or if you have any questions, call in 623-217-4959.